What's up, guys? It's Decadon. I'm a dubstep guitarist, producer, and DJ from Denver, Colorado.
Been through some low times, drinking all alone nights. Ran through half a bottle just to swallow that I'm not fine. Didn't make a difference, cause nobody would listen to my silence. Cause I couldn't find the words to say I'm lost and something's missing. But then you came along and you changed that. Wasn't
Yo, y'all need to tell the fucking girl right now.
since I met you right from the start. And you pulled me back together when I was falling apart. Give me all your patience so I give you my fire. And my guide through the night, you're my light through the dark days. You're my light through the dark times. Beating right, you're my light through the dark times.
That was nuts.
Yeah, that shit.
I love Arizona. I started out with a lot of roots in rock and roll, and was in a bunch of bands in high school and bands, early on, middle school time, and I loved that energy. I loved live music ever since I was little. Went to music camp, starting at like 10, 11 years old, and learned to play the guitar around, 11, 12, and loved it ever since. So that's where that comes from.
Donnie, my son, has been in the music scene for about 8 years, but quite frankly, as a baby, he was premature a few weeks. I think he came out rocking.
My family's extremely supportive of my music. My dad is my manager, my day-to-day manager, and my mother and sister are my biggest fans in the world other than him. So yeah, my family's super supportive. And also, extended-wise, I've had shows where all four of my grandparents have been at the shows, so it's been a whole family affair, which is cool. At the end of the day, all you have is family and your friends and your close circle, and when you have the support of all those people around you, it's super special. One day I heard White Satin by Zed's Dead. I think this was like 2011, 2012, something around there, and I was blown away, and I was like, what, one or two people can make all this? Obviously Zed's a duo, but then I heard Skrillex and Bass Nectar and these guys, and I was like, this is one person doing all these sounds. And being in a band, it's a great energy, it's a great time to vibe off each other, but there comes a time when you're making music where I was kind of getting tired depending on other people, so I found production and I started making music on my own, and then it kind of led me into the electronic realm and producing beats and electronic music. So
at that time, I was managing some local rock bands, so I was a graphic designer for years, but always had something on the side that had something to do with music. And so that's when it came along that he asked me, he said, Dad, let's do this together. I said, this is a 16, 17-year-old kid. Drop everyone you got in a good way, and let's do this together. And I did. I was like, let's go. And so he got that brand going. The first 6 months or so, I was asked by him to join forces and see what we can do. And that's what we've been freaking doing.
Having my dad on my team and kind of at the helms of everything that with me has been super important, because he's had my back for as long as I can remember, and I can't think of anyone better to have my best interest in mind in an industry that's notorious for people that don't necessarily have your best interest in mind. So he'll have a great idea, and I'll have not so great idea, or I'll have a great idea, his won't be so great, and we kind of go back and forth and kind of chisel it to get the best product that we can, and it kind of keeps each other in check and makes things as poppin' as they can be. Rock and roll plays a huge influence in my music still to this day. There's even times, I spend 4 or 5 hours in the studio whenever I'm home, and there's times where I'll make strictly rock music. It doesn't all come out to be these banger electronic dubstep trap, all this stuff. There's times where I don't feel like putting in any electronic elements. There's still that raw energy, but all the songs that make it onto the Decadon brand, they definitely have the rock influence, and then it kind of melts into that electronic aspect as well. There's that sense, that magic sense of just creativity and energy when you're creating sound on stage and it's happening right in front of the audience. It's not, why that's cool is it shows that there's something happening on stage other than just playing music off of a flash drive. There's a certain magic to it because it's happening right then and there. As the Decadon brand continues to grow, my vision is having a rock band on stage. One guy that is doing it really well, obviously, is our good friend Millennium, Nick Miller, and he's nailed it for what he does, his melodic and dub fusion with the band on stage. It's incredible. I want to have a version of that similar to that, but it's rock and roll. It's rock and roll and dubstep. That's it. You go there, you headbang, you mosh, and there's a band on stage. Think of it as like a dubstep orchestra. Pretty Lights had all of his horn section and everything like that. I want to have a big show with me at the helms with the guitar and the DJ table, and then a band around me. So that's where it's going, hopefully. I don't call them fans. They're not. I still have not. That's a word that it weirds me out sometimes because I'm just I just make music and people happen to like it, and some people really hate it. That's cool too. But the fact that people take the time to listen to it is cool. So instead of fans, I like to think of it as they're a bunch of cool people, my friends, that happen to like the music that I create, and they attach to it in a way that I can't explain, and then it's special. There was a girl out there in the crowd tonight that was decked out, no pun intended, in all my merch. You had jersey, shirt, hat, hoodie wrapped around. I went out and signed it. It's special because these kids mean the world to me, and I say kids, there's fans that go up to up there in age, all the work that goes into the music and the touring and all that part of it, and playing, the hour on stage and the time getting to talk to all the people that come out and support me is the most important part of what I do. It's my favorite part of what I do. This year, especially 2019, has been the first year that I've seen kids latching onto my music in a way that's not just listening or partying. It's it's something more than that to them, and it's become more than that to me as well, with seeing how special my music is to some of these people. They're incredible human beings, and these events are in place for people to escape kind of the crap that goes on in life sometimes. These tickets are expensive for these shows, and these kids save up a lot of money to come and have a good time and forget about things for a little bit, and for them to spend that time with me means more than I can explain. So I think my goal is to just spread that to as far as I can spread it. First thing that goes through my head when I walk through stage is, I hope I don't screw this up. What goes through my head is really, I know it sounds silly, but not much. I kind of 5 to 10 minutes before, I don't shut down, but I just kind of get in the zone, and I just, think about what I'm about to do, how lucky I am to, get to do this and go out and play music for people, and that's my way of life. And that's a very surreal thing to say out loud and to think about. But so every time before I go on stage, it's just thankful, and it's grateful, and let's do this.